Hey guys, got a Kaido Works back with some updates. I've been a little radio silent recently, but had some pretty big projects come in the shop and had to do some shuffling around and some other stuff like that. So Celica's on hold a little bit, but I'll show you what we're working with. So, got the Celica. Move back underneath the rack, underneath the other Celica. Diff's still out of that one. Got to figure something out for it. I'm still trying to source limited slip for something like this. But what just came into the shop is going to help me with that. So let's go check this out. It's an St185 all-track Celica. Buddy Zach's bought it, I think summer last year. Pretty cool car. Love these things. Honestly, this is my favorite generation of all-tracks. That might start some fights, but for me, it's the flip-ups. Got to be the flip-ups. But so we're going to do some R&D on this thing for differential as well, because it's the same series and you can get the Cusco limited slips that go in these. So we're going to take a peek at that. Now this car is in here originally for a timing belt concern. One of the bearings in that pulley system is making a ton of noise. Unfortunately, owner couldn't get it out to me, so I had to go trailer it, pick it up for him. It was a non-runner at the time, so I got it back up and running now. But had to drop the fuel tank, put a fuel pump in it, do lots of other little bits and pieces kind of things to get it to run right. And she's running good enough right now that I can start really diagnosing some stuff, which is the main thing, is trying to duplicate the customer concern for the customer if we're just shooting parts at it. But here's the old fuel pump. So this is a Supra fuel pump, like a Mark IV. So this is an old Toyota upgrade we used to all do back in the day, back before you could really get Wally kits or anything like that. Just slam a Denso, and you got yourself a nice, basically 250, 255 LPH. But I had to drop that. Surprisingly, also the tank was clean. So this is a used fuel pump that someone had put in there that was just this gross, which kind of blows my mind, but that's par for the course on the rest of this car. So the story behind this car is he bought it from some guy that had just pieced this back together, pretty much just get it running and driving, or at least that's what the story was. You know, same song and dance we all have with some of these guys. And he drove it a couple times last year, parked it for the winter, and it wouldn't start back up. So had to go trailer it. But I'll show you what's going on. So first off the bat, it'll be hard to tell if you can see in there, but that open line down there, that's the evap line for the fuel. It was capped off, and surprisingly on this car, the gas cap held seal, which is real surprising for something this age, and it essentially vacuumed the pump to death. So it had no way to breathe, and it was just constantly overpressurizing. So changed that all out. I already dropped the gas tank, put the new one in. Not too exciting to do all that, especially with something this old that's been in Wisconsin its whole life. So got that all done. Car runs. Came with a whole host of other problems. I'm sure you see there's no clamps. Came in with essentially no clamps for a lot of stuff. A lot of janky stuff going on here. Biggest red flag for me right off the bat for diagnosing this thing was it did not have an air filter, which is a gigantic red flag as to what's going on with the rest of this thing. I've replaced probably about 15 vacuum lines so far, just to get this thing to idle. And that includes a lot of the caps that were on this car. Everything's been sitting for way too long. Everything's rotted out. So I replaced pretty much every single line in this thing that I could get my hands on that was simple or capped. And now we got a runner, which is pretty ideal for diagnosing and going forward with this. So we're going to really dig into this bad boy. It's got a whole host of issues. Previous owner had the motor out of it, had the trans part, had a bunch of other things going on. There's a ton of loose bolts everywhere, tons and tons of missing brackets, lots of wiring that's routed all funky. we're gonna get back, get this car back to good form for the owner, and we're gonna do some R&D on the diff, like I said. So stay tuned for some updates on it. But in the meantime, just take a peek at this sweet car. This thing is so nice. So this only has about 130,000 miles on it. Got that leather interior. Woo! And it's still got stock wheels in fantastic condition for how old this thing is and how it's been treated. Also comes with, this is pretty tight, it's an old Blitz nurse spec exhaust. I don't even know if you can still get these for those, but this thing's, woo! I definitely love these cars, that's for sure. But so we're gonna do that. That's coming updates in the next week. In the meantime, for the rest of this week, I have to put a rear main seal in my 240 because I've been putting that off for the longest time, and it's literally all that is stopping me from driving this thing around right now. So I'll get back to you guys, and I'll see you maybe tomorrow.